From VCI and IndieGO Movies comes the 2024 Blue Christmas. This is interesting. This is written and directed, and I think more hyphens, by renowned mystery writer, pulp noir, posthumous co-author to Mickey Spillane writer Allan Collins, who probably is most notable, I guess, for writing the graphic novel that Road to Perdition, the movie, was based on. But he's done a lot of things that you would know. There's an extra on this that gets into all of his accomplishments, and it's just like the fact that one person has done all this, it's astounding. He has written and directed this film that is basically a film noir take on A Christmas Carol. So timely release as I record this. It's a Blu-ray. It's 80 minutes. It is. Oh, Allan Collins also directed the Patty. I want to say Patty Hearst. It's not Patty Hearst, and it's not Patty Mullen. He did the films Mommy and Mommy's Day, which you may remember on video. Starred the girl from The Bad Seed, and it stars Rob Merritt, Alisabeth von Presley, and Chris Causey. It comes with optional English SDH subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, and it is an all-region disc, so anywhere in the world you pop this in your player, it will just work. Christmas Eve, 1942. Private Eye Richard Stone, aka Stoney to some of the people who love it and know him, and his staff are in the office having the office Christmas party. His PI, he's a private eye Christmas party. And it's not too long after his former partner, who I guess originally had started the office, Jake Marley, that sounds familiar, was killed mysteriously, and it was a crime that never went solved. So office party, there's some people with weird interrelationable stuffs going on in this office party. They leave, and things aren't going too great for Richard Stone. He's got people hounding him for money. He's got people who he's having an affair with somebody in the office, and life is a little complicated. They don't necessarily get better when the ghost of his ex-partner shows up from beyond with his legs in chains and says, "I want you to solve my murder." So the twist on A Christmas Carol, it's different. But basically, I'm going to cut to the chase. Basically, this all takes place in one room, really, where different characters and ghosts of past and things appear before Richard Stone in his office, this PI office in 1942, to show him things. So instead of other versions of A Christmas Carol, or maybe cinematic versions where Scrooge would go to former times in his life and he's in that space, instead that space, those people come to him. So limited props, but the actors. Clearly this was made on a very slim budget. A lot of the things that I would say about it, and probably still will, made sense. My suspicions were validated when I watched the extras and the end credits. This was done at a college in the town that Allan Collins lives in and has taught at. He was a student at this college, and then he was later a teacher at this college, and it utilized their facilities, their black box theater. So it really feels kind of like a community theater play, and it's kind of what it is, really. It's kind of like a filmed community theater play with, no audience and multiple camera angles. It feels cheap, because it probably was. The acting is really not very good. It's community theater level. It's people who are trying, but it's not really movie quality level. So it was really hard for me to get through this, just because it was like, there's a guy who's supposed to be a soldier in the army in 1942, and he has shaggy shoulder length hair down to his collar, and I'm just like, 1942, you couldn't have him get a haircut, have somebody who has a short haircut, have him tuck it under his and there's certain clothes and glasses and hairstyles are just modern day, and somebody at the beginning goes to get into an elevator and it's got like the number with a star in Braille under it, which is just a very contemporary looking elevator, and just all this stuff. It's just like, Collins knows what he's doing as far as noir is concerned, but this film is just, I just thought it was not good. I'm not sure who's going to really be into this, because it feels so amateurish. And when you pop in a movie, you go to a play, it's a play and it's people in the community and stuff like that. You watch something on TV, it's whatever level that is. But when it's a movie, when it's a disc you buy and pop in, if they're not up to a certain level, it's hard to get into it for me. Certainly the lighting was good. it was in focus. The color was nice. There's some interesting effects here and there, but overall it was just really stiff and really it felt like people delivering written lines, and better actors and more interesting direction might have caused that to turn out differently or work better. But apparently this was based on a novella or a short story that Collins had written, which I'd love to read that, because I have a feeling in the theater of the mind, this thing would work a lot better than it does on the screen in this form. And at one point, okay, I don't want to give it away because somebody might watch this and enjoy it. And as always, I do say, as much as I might not have liked this, I commend the people who put it together, that you were able to achieve this and get it released. And I know how hard it is to make a movie and to fund a movie and to achieve making all those moving parts work. And it's really cool that they could do this, that college has the facilities to do this, and that the people in the local community were involved. And now they've got a Blu-ray they can show for their efforts. That's pretty cool. It's just something I didn't enjoy personally. It just and also I'm kind of glancing at my notes over here. The private eye office is gigantic. Now in the end, it's gigantic to make it work for the context of what they needed to do in this film. But when you think about old noir films and old gangster movies, they're usually a little tiny office because somebody's struggling for cash and they're just in a second or third floor of some building downtown. And this office is gigantic. At some point, I was going to say, there's a character credited as the King. And when that character shows up, I was like, what is this? It's just stupid and silly. And the clothing is just like they went to Spirit Halloween to get it. And it suddenly turns this thing that, as far as my attention was concerned, was a drama up to that point. It turns it into a comedy for like 3 minutes. And then it goes back to being serious. And it 100% doesn't work. It would probably work if I don't know. It did not work. So extras on this. It was made at Muscatine Community College in Iowa. So it's shot in their black box theater, which, as in my notes here, it says explains a lot. Extras are a commentary by Max Allan Collins and Chad Bishop, who between the two of them did most of the behind the scenes work on this film. It's got behind the scenes, premieres, Q&A, slideshow, Q&A, which is 102 minutes. This would have worked better broken up as separate features on the Blu-ray, I think, because it just plays straight through and it's almost, it's 102 minutes. It is a slideshow of the set construction and behind the scenes, which is interesting to see how they did it and what kind of, almost looks like a TV studio and how they did it as far as the tech is concerned. That's a slideshow. That really should have been its own thing. And then it goes into the red carpet premiere at a local movie theater, and that goes on for a while, and it's interviews with the various cast members and things like that. And then it goes to the Q&A at the premiere, which goes on for a while. And then it goes to another Q&A at a different screening, and that goes on for a while. So it was weird to have to go through it all at once. I think generally, even if it was a movie I really liked, I don't know if I would want to sit through all that at once. I'd like to be able to break it up a little bit more. Documentary on Max Allan Collins, 26 minutes, produced by Muscatine University, Muscatine Community College. And that's actually really well made. It was, I think it looks like maybe they were inducting Max Allan Collins into their Muscatine Legends program or Hall of Fame or something, but it's a really well produced and it looks really good documentary about him and all the ridiculous amount of pies this man had his fingers in, from books to comic books to screenwriting to making movies to being in a band to teaching and more. It's just crazy. So that was really interesting. And then there is the trailer on that. So the package itself looks a little something like this, the front and back. And then we crack it open and we've got sort of the cover again on the disc. And then the story behind the film, if you can see that. Am I getting any glare on that? The story behind the film, which I appreciate. It's a very simple thing, but I'm a fan of the transparent cover with content under it. Anyway, Your Mileage May Vary, available now from VCI Entertainment and IndieGO Films, is Max Allan Collins' Blue Christmas on Blu-ray.